Yo, Prince Sports here, coming at you with another one. One of the things I liked about All-Star Weekend, as I said in the other video, is honoring the top 75 players. Now, I thought it would have been better if they did it by numbers, but I guess, they didn't want to cause any more debate, but that would have been much better. But anyway, everybody's talking to each other, they celebrating and all this other stuff, and two of the guys that got the loudest, chant was Michael Jordan and Kobe, Kobe, Kobe. I found that to be remarkable. Michael Jordan hasn't played basketball in decades. But yet he is still the most respected, and he is still the reigning #1 goal getter in the GOAT debate, okay? And that is amazing. All these years and he's still considered the GOAT. And he's living proof that legends don't die. It just multiply. Like the words of Tupac. And let me tell you something about this brother, man. He's in the background and he says this.
Well, who you shooting at? We go play 1-on-1 million right now. Damn.
Okay? He told Magic Johnson, get a pair of shoes. We go 1-on-1 right now. It was all fun and games until Mike said, you know what? Come see me then. I play you 1-on-1 right now. That's the Michael Jordan that we love. That's why we look at that guy and say, hey, that's the greatest basketball player of all time. Because he didn't settle for nothing less than winning. Michael Jordan was a fucking winner. Okay? Flat out. The guy wanted to compete and he wanted to rip your heart out. And he didn't take losing something with a smile on his face. And he damn sure took winning very seriously. And he wanted the best out of his teammates. And he wanted them to give the same amount of effort as he gave on the basketball court. And he proved that with his actions. That's why he's a legend. And that's why he's the greatest basketball player for me that I have ever seen. Okay? Not just his level of play on the basketball court. His will and determination. His desire and his skill to match that is unparable, man. It can't be matched with nobody. Because the guy just wants to do any and everything to win. You got people telling you, hey man, Michael Jordan wouldn't let me leave unless he won. We playing poker, we playing pool. This guy won't let me leave, man. And that's the same mentality at which a lot of players still will have today. And because the mind controls the body, you got to believe that you're the best first before you become the best. And that's what I like about Michael Jordan, just from a personality standpoint. I'm not even talking about his level of talent on a basketball court. This man is remarkable, man. He's a fucking legend. And Kobe Bryant passed away. His legend in that conversation with the GOAT just growed. You saw Shaq was like, man, I'm jealous. Because I'm always in the conversation for most dominant. But nobody will ever tell me that I'm the greatest basketball player of all time. That's, Michael Jordan territory. And that's now definitely Kobe Bryant territory. Ever since he passed, his legend just got even increased, And forcibly by the media, LeBron James is in that conversation too, But as I said before, LeBron James is a great basketball player. I can't look at that guy based off what he's done on the basketball court and how he approached the game to say he's the greatest basketball player of all time. He don't have, his resume is a little bit light. LeBron to me is like a mafia deal going bad, a business deal going bad. If a guy say, hey man, I kidnapped such and such, and you better bring me $10,000 or less, it's over. LeBron is like going to that mafia dude and bringing 5,000 instead of 10. And you touch the money, you be like, hey, hold up. You're a little light here. And that's for me with LeBron. You're a little light on the resume. You know, I think LeBron James is a great basketball player, definitely just not the GOAT. And you could actually debate rather he deserves to be even in top 5. You can make a case top 10 at the most. Guys like Michael Jordan, man, they the embodiment of greatest of all time, you know, from everything that they do, you know, the way they approach the game, you know, they're in a class of their own. Now, that top 5 list, or the top 75 list, I got a little problems with it. There's some guys on it I think that don't deserve to be there, but nevertheless, it's a very tough list to make because it's 75 players only. And I still think they should have did a better job of making that list. Like I said, make it with a number so we can actually really sit back and debate who was who and why we think this guy was better than that guy, you know. But if you think about even just the past, that top 75 list is 50 of the greatest basketball players of all time, the same players. Then you add 25 more, okay? And pretty soon when you get to 100, you're going to do the top 100 and add 25 more. Think of the Kawhi Leonards and all these guys that didn't make the list. If he's not on the list, pardon me, but I don't think he's on that list. He's another guy you could debate that should have been on the list. Or a Kyrie Irving or something like that. And just think, if they're not on that top 75 now, when they do the top 100, you may ask yourself, can they still make that list? Because you know how many other guys will have played the game before they do a top 100 again? They may do that 25 years more down the line, okay? A couple decades will have to go by before you even add a Kawhi Leonard or a Kyrie Irving to that list. So there's always going to be players missing off that list. And I think some of those players should have been bumped off that list and went to a lower number. You know, they should do a better ranking system because a lot of good players are going to miss out on being on that type of list. And that's a good honor to have, you know, at least for the basketball players themselves and for us, the fans, something for us to talk about, you know. But nevertheless, man, yeah, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, they proof that no matter what era of basketball you be watching basketball in, or you have started watching basketball in, those guys are legends for eternity, okay? Until time of the basketball world ends itself, they will always be legends. Straight like that. Prince Sports out.